It's Friday, September 6th. You've got Goose, and you're entering into the core brought to you by Zelcore Plus, the one cryptocurrency wallet for all your trading and custody needs. For more information about Zelcore Plus, check out Zel.network. Well, here we are at our weekly Zel update. And I want to jump right into our top 5 biggest gainers and losers. It was suggested to us that it may be better for us to take a look at the 7-day numbers versus the 24-hour numbers. So since we really only do this update once or twice a week, yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So we're going to go ahead over onto coinmarketcap.com. And if you go to the rankings, you can check gainers and losers, and that will give you a whole list of what coins are doing what. So at the top of the gainers list is Molecular Future, up, now get this guys, 807%. What a moonshot. What is going on with Molecular Future? Did they just bypass the moon altogether? I mean, it sounds to me like Molecular Future went into another dimension, huh? 807%. Amazing. Are you holding that coin? Let me know down in the comments below. Number 2 spot, Airline and Life Network, up 118%, followed by Silverway in the number 3 spot at 112%. 4th place is Bear Chain, up 111%, and number 5 is Tratok, up 110%. Some of these coins I'm not all that familiar with, so do let us know down in the comments below if you have been following any of these projects and what you think of them. Moving along to our top 5 biggest losers. At the top of that list, we are looking at Custody Token, down 96%, followed by Business Credit Alliance, down 86%, followed by Platine Coin, which is down 76%. Number 4 spot is Egretia, down 60%, followed by Blockport, which is down 48%. One of the other coins that has shown up on this list in the past is Energy. Now that's in the 10th place spot, down 39%. But this is a coin that was hovering very close to $9 per coin and is now worth $3. So let me know what you think of the Energy project. It's something that we've been seeing pop up in both lists, whether it be gainers or losers. It's been fluctuating quite a bit, but has come down significantly in just a couple of months. In the time that I've been following it, I've seen a lot of hype. I've also seen a lot of coins thrown around. Part of their earn drop is this opportunity to earn coins just for posting tweets and Facebook likes and things like this. And they track that and pay you out. Well, I did some of that. I never received a payout. So I don't know when that payout is coming. I haven't followed it all that closely. And I just figure whatever, it's free coins. However, if we think about this from an economic standpoint, I don't know how healthy it is for a project to go ahead and start giving away coins, if you know what I mean. I mean, is that no different than governments printing more cash? And as soon as that cash hits the markets, well, that devalues the currency. And as we've seen with Energy here, whether it be because of the earn drops or not, certainly there's a ton more coins out there. So I know it's a proof of stake coin, and that's already kind of suspect to me anyway, but let me know what you think about that project if you've been following it closely. I know it's popped up a bunch, and that's why it's caught my attention in this particular podcast. Now, what I'd like to do before I get into the Zel updates is take a look at some news here, and the first one is this mystery 94,000 Bitcoin transaction that took place last night at about 11:30 p.m., and it was for 94,506 Bitcoin that amount to a little over $1 billion US. And this is probably one of the largest Bitcoin transactions to a non-exchange address. So this is a very significant amount of Bitcoin to be moving around. And there were a couple of different blockchain analysis companies that took a look at this, and they say that about a third of the coins originated from the Huobi exchange. So that's pretty cool. We've got a listing over on Huobi now, so I'm not surprised. They're a top 20 crypto exchange, so that would make sense. But definitely interesting. There are some analysts suggesting that the funds may be tied to institutional trading from Bakkt, and they started accepting client deposits today. So, I mean, it's conceivable that it is possibly Bakkt making sure that they have in their possession the certain amount of Bitcoins necessary to make those transactions possible. There's certain regulations in place that say that if you don't have custody of the Bitcoin, you can't sell it, right? So that's how that works. And so it's a very good possibility that they consolidated all their Bitcoin into that one address, and that's how they're going to regulate it. Certainly open to speculation. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. One other article I wanted to mention here was on CoinDesk, and it's about Telegram, the messaging app. And I've used that myself. I use it for like group chat and stuff like that. But and I'm sure there's many listeners who probably are familiar with the app. They finally released the code for their TON blockchain. That's the Telegram Open Network blockchain. So testnet is up and running now. People can spin up their full node or validator node. Check out the Blockchain Explorer. Again, it's all testnet right now, so they've got about a month or two before they're going to launch the mainnet. Says that they're going to launch mainnet no later than October 31st, All Hallows Eve. Are you scared? So in my curiosity, I decided to do a little bit of digging to see what it is that Telegram Open Network was trying to do, or what it was trying to offer the space, what kind of use case or problem it's trying to solve. And I don't know that it's all that much that, you know, can't be done or isn't already being done by other projects, you know. So they're bringing a lot of different things under one roof, I suppose. And because there are a lot of people who are invested in it and already using the Telegram messaging app, well, I guess this is the next step, right? So one of the first things they focus on is transaction speed, and a lot of this is coming because of the fact they're using proof of stake as their primary consensus algorithm, which, if you ask me, is not all that secure, although they're going to use validator nodes, which is supposed to, you know, provide maybe a second level of checks and balances. The only problem is that if you get the same group of people, whales, who have invested in this and are maintaining and monitoring all the nodes, well, you know, let's just put it this way. They're going to vote the way they want to vote, right? So much for decentralization. And that is one big criticism that I would have for this project right off the bat. Beyond that, they're looking to displace Bitcoin. They're saying, it literally says here, they want to potentially outcast Bitcoin from its pedestal as main cryptocurrency in the world. I mean, I guess think big, right? I get it. There's a lot of people investing in this, the 1.7 billion invested, but I don't know how many users they have in terms of messaging app, but I mean, if I invested heavily in this, I probably would want to see it come to fruition. But I just wonder at what point people don't start saying like, yeah, well, great, you got your testnet going, but it took you long enough. And you better make good, because out of many projects that came from the whole ICO thing and initial coin offering thing, like 99% of them were scams, you know. So what is this going to be, the 1% not a scam? I don't know. They also are focusing on legal and legislative limitations. Now, what that means is they are enforcing KYC depending on where you live. Yet, they're going to provide proxying depending on where you live. So I'm getting a little schizophrenic here, but I just thought I would kind of point out a few of these things. That's all the fundamental stuff, but what do they really want to do? It's going to be a peer-to-peer network, and they're basically using the same principles as a torrent network, okay? So BitTorrent is already out there, so I don't know why we need it from Telegram, but that's okay. There you have it. The other thing is storage, and of course, this is really, guys, this is the biggest issue on the web, is storage, right? We know that the tech giants, the Googles, Facebooks, Amazons and Microsofts of the world have massive data centers all over the world, all right? And they're strategically placed in areas where they can make use of geothermal cooling and things like this. How do you compete with that? Okay, you try and decentralize it and incentivize people to run nodes that provide storage. And there are a ton of different blockchains out there that are, storage focused. We've got Siacoin, storage. Oh, Burst. Burst is the other one, right? If you're getting into burst mining where you're just, stacking hard drives, it's not all that profitable. So you got to deal with that issue. It's a solution, but it's not the solution, right? I mean, unless, of course, everybody had, several blade servers and, just terabytes and terabytes and terabytes worth of storage space in their basement that was hooked up to this network. That's the other thing, right? Because not everybody's going to be connected to the Ton network. They're going to be on other networks providing their services that way. So how are you going to go ahead and grab resources from projects that are already working on another network, right? So you got to play that game too, which is a real challenge here. So yeah, as much as I love decentralized storage, I still see it as a real problem. What's the best way to address that situation? I mean, I suppose if you incentivize correctly, people certainly will spin up blade servers. I mean, think about how many people spin up mining rigs with GPUs. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't go ahead and throw a bunch of, RAID and NAS drives together so that they could be incentivized to hold files for people. So that's part of what they're trying to focus on. They're not alone in that, of course, but it's just one other thing. They're also going to be focusing on distributed hash tables, DHT, and that's where they're going to store the information for where the files are located and stuff like that. This is nothing new. This has been already discussed and talked about by many others in the space, and so they're sort of adopting a lot of what's already going on. Another thing is dApps, of course, right? So if they already have the messaging platform, then they're going to kind of expand upon that with dApps. The final one there that they have highlighted themselves is what they call Telegram Passport, the KYC. Know your customer. And these are just certain security measures that are taken that require users who want to transact using the app to send photos, scanned copies of their identity cards, like your driver's license or your passport, your maybe a bill that confirms your address, certain bank card information. So this is getting to be, and this is where they say they want to be able to displace Bitcoin. Because why? Well, apparently the argument is that only bad people and fraudsters use Bitcoin. So the only way to get around that is via KYC. So once you're KYC'd on the Ton network, then you're good to spend and transact, and all of these other locations, their supposed location. I can't say it's not even happening yet. I mean, this is probably years. I mean, you know how long it took them to get to this point to get a test net together. It's going to be years before they get any of this stuff. But rest assured, the KYC will probably be one of the first things they ask for those who want to really transact with this particular cryptocurrency. So let me know what you think about the Ton network down in the comments below. So that was the news. Let's go ahead and move on over to our weekly Zelle update. And I want to start this with a new exchange listing. We are now on PIEXGO. That's PIEXGO. And we have a USD Tether trading pair. So for all you Tether holders out there who are looking to buy some Zelle, check out PIEXGO. Another thing is our latest Zelcore update, version 2.2.3, aptly named Tiguna Aat, which I have no idea what that means, but somebody could probably tell us down in the comments below, is out. Here's what you can expect in terms of feature updates. First of all, we've added the Ontology network. That includes Ontology and Ontology Gas. So those are now available. Ontology Gas claiming is now available. And Zelcore Plus now supports vouchers. We also took care of a little bug in terms of our fiat rates. not showing up. They were sending some kind of spam data, and certain users were experiencing a bug where their wallet was just showing up blank. And that's because the server was feeding garbage information that Zelcore didn't know how to process. So that has been remedied. That was, it took a little bit of downtime there, but Miles and Tadeusz got on it real quick, and I think we had about 8 hours of a little bit of a downtime, but all been addressed, and now we are back up and running. We now have support for the Z Classic fork, including full node binaries for Bitcoin, Ravencoin, Dash, GenX, Zcoin, and then Zcash, Zell, and Z Classic, which is of course part of that fork for the Z Classic. We also threw a couple of minor tweaks in there. I mean, nothing major, right? Because Zelcore 3.0 is going to be the major one. But one thing that is important to mention right now is regarding CryptoWolf. And for those of you who are new to Zelcore, Zelcore provides different types of quick swap exchanges. So if you open up your Zelcore app and click the exchange button, you'll see there's a collection of quick swap exchanges there. And among them is CryptoWolf, which was added some months ago and was added as an option for people to be able to purchase and sell Zellcash. But unfortunately, we've run into a few situations. Several users have brought it to our attention that their trades were taking extraordinarily long amounts of time, or some of them not even going through. And so Miles took it upon himself personally to contact the developers of CryptoWolf and remedy the situation with those users who had filed a support claim. The good news here is that it's all been remedied with those who have brought it to our attention. If you have not yet chosen to do so, please, if you're experiencing a problem with CryptoWolf, go ahead, get on our Discord server and let us know, and we will go ahead and work with you on that. But for right now, we've decided to temporarily disable CryptoWolf until we can come up with a better solution or a better offering in that category. We don't have an option to sell Zell right now within Zelcore, but you can purchase it via CoinSwitch with Bitcoin. Okay, so there is at least that you can do, and that's great to do if you want to take advantage of even just for a small transaction of Zell. You can set up a decentralized two-factor authentication. There will be many more use cases coming down the pike very, very soon. But for right now, that's probably one of the best things that you can do to secure your Zelcore wallet. So don't rely on just a username and password. Make sure you have a decentralized 2FA. That's the story with CryptoWolf. As far as Ontology goes, I want to kind of come back to this because Ontology is a high-performance public blockchain project and a distributed trust collaboration platform. Now, that's a mouthful, right? But just by way of a short introduction, I'll put a link to this down in the description. Ontology is all about cross-chain technology, all right? And it's this idea of collaboration between multiple blockchain projects. And in their own words, cross-chain technology is a protocol that allows two blockchains to communicate with each other. Now, it shouldn't take a rocket scientist to realize this, but the Ethereum blockchain is, for all its similarities, is different than the Bitcoin blockchain, right? It has its own consensus algorithm. It has its own set of nodes. It has additions that have been made to it in terms of the smart contracts and things like this. The Zellcash blockchain is completely different than Bitcoin. It has the Bitcoin as its core, but it has ZK Snark's privacy technology. It has a node setup, So there are very, very major differences between different blockchains. Hence, the need for cross-chain technology. So we need a protocol that will allow, for instance, Bitcoin to communicate with Zellcash, right? And a lot of it has to do with side chains and some more complicated things that Miles loves to talk about. So this is all stuff that is very exciting for our development team and very exciting for the ecosystem because Zell is nearing that 200 mark of assets that we have in a single wallet. So this is a really good move for us, I believe, and so does the team, because it's going to give us the opportunity to explore this more, both as developers and as a community, and then also to consider the possibility of like using this with the Zellnode network, because there are some different types of what they call oracles that are programs that could be run on the Zell network. So this is very, very early stages. Right now, all we can say is that we have the coins in the wallet so that you can store them there. But in the future, we hope that we'll be able to make better use of what it is that Ontology brings to the field. And we're very excited about this partnership. This is something that will be run through the Zell Labs arm of Zell. So that's something that is entirely collaborative. One other thing that's definitely worth mentioning here, and this is largely due to the fruit of one of the podcasts that we had done a couple weeks ago with Milo Van Facen, who is the chief writer and, well, more or less owner of Proof of Review. And the fruit of that podcast, that conversation, the time that we've been working together, is that we are going to be incorporating Proof of Review into Zellcore. So imagine being able to see a third-party review of your favorite coin in Zellcore. You'd have a link there. You can click that link and take a look at it over on the Proof of Review website. You can check this out at proofofreview.com. And not to mention the Zell report that just came out at the end of August. We got a really good score, okay? We definitely made the honor roll there. I'm quite pleased with that review. And a lot of that has to do with the work that's being done by our developers and the support of our community. We couldn't do it without your support, and things are moving along very well. This is going to shape up to be probably one of the more exciting months of this year. Even though, we thought, hey, when we launched the Zell nodes, that was going to be exciting. And it was. I mean, it was absolutely awesome. But now we're talking Flux. So this is essentially going to be the month of Flux. And there is so much coming down the pike, guys. I am so excited, and I can't wait to share it all with you in the upcoming weeks. So that's your weekly Zell update. I hope you liked it. If so, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button on the Zell Labs YouTube channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs, and once we do, then we'll be able to take advantage of using YouTube's algorithm to get us out there more and in the suggested and recommended feeds and stuff like that. If you want to follow us on Twitter, check out @Zell_core for all the main information pertaining to Zellcore. If you want to learn more about what we're doing, check out Zell.network. And as always, thanks for listening. And until next time, you've been in the core, powered by Zellcore Plus.